Dragon Ball Super episode 127 titled The Approaching Wall, the Final Barrier of Hope. So from the remaining fighters left, who uses barriers? That's right, Android 17. Before the episode even aired, we knew that this episode will revolve around Android 17 and his undeniable elimination. However, we weren't prepared for what really happened in the episode. This episode was very action heavy, especially the first part of the episode, where almost every scene was action oriented. The first part was basically Goku, Vegeta and Android 17 fighting it out against Jiren, and although in context it does sound entertaining, I found it to be a little boring after a while. At first I was pretty hyped to see them go against Jiren at full strength, but later in the fight it was kind of repeating itself. Overall, I think the first part is definitely the weakest part of the episode. The second part wasn't perfect, but it had much more great moments, whether it being Frieza jumping in the battle, or Jiren's backstory, or the shocking death of Android 17, which no one expected. Okay, so let's start with the Frieza moment. So with all of Universe 7 fighters down from Jiren's attack, Jiren was going to deliver the final blow, but Frieza suddenly out of nowhere comes to save the day, and manages to push back Jiren quite considerably. He is furious that he was humiliated in battle, and states that Jiren is deserved to be killed by him. Now at this point I knew that Frieza was going to get pummeled to the ground, but even so, that line still had some weight in it, and the voice acting from Ryusei Nakao, forgive my pronunciation on that one, was really impressive and managed to put a real conviction to the scene. So then we get a flashback from Belmont about Jiren, and I gotta say I think the flashback was done tremendously good. Although it did kind of feel like it was out of the blue, the way that they delivered and explained Jiren's reasoning was greatly done. The backstory of Jiren was definitely needed. His character was so bland that I felt like he was one of the weakest characters in terms of characterization. He was basically there to be an opponent for Goku and Vegeta, to view as a monster in terms of power compared to them. But at least with this flashback we get some depth to his character, not just having a one-dimensional character. So the flashback basically tells the story on how Jiren ended up with the wish he has for the Dragon Balls, which by the way isn't officially confirmed, but I think it is safe to say that he wishes for much more power. So the flashback starts by showing us Jiren as a young boy, seeing his parents killed right before his eyes by an unnamed evil guy. He was rescued by the man who would become his teacher. He trained Jiren, and Jiren gained new companions throughout his journey. However, when the evildoer returned, he killed every one of his companions, even his master. So he tried to rise up against him again with the remaining surviving students, but none of them would stand with him. So Jiren ended up alone and realized that strength is justice. So that is Jiren's backstory. I was rather impressed with his backstory, not gonna lie. I feel like they could do a whole TV show or spin-off about Jiren and how he got to where he is now. I gotta say, I didn't think that Jiren's backstory would be this interesting. Also, good thing to note that the evildoer in his flashback was not mentioned anymore, so we really do not know what happened to him. Did he die? Is he still living? They definitely made new waters to expand on with this new flashback if they want to continue the series, so props to them for that one. So now we move on to the most unexpected part of the episode. Even if we already knew that 17 was going out, we just didn't expect him to die. So Jiren was going to finish off everyone from Universe 7, but 17 gets up and holds Jiren's blast. He figures that it's pointless to hold on to it and creates a barrier to protect Goku and Vegeta, and self-destructs himself to detonate Jiren's blast. At first I thought that Jiren killed 17 since it wasn't clearly shown that 17 self-destructed, so I thought they were going to ignore the rules from this point on. But it was later revealed what really happened by the Grand Priest. I'm so glad they explained that, because there would have been a lot of confusion in the community. Seeing 17 die was definitely an emotional moment. It was executed perfectly, with 17 giving up on his own dream to take his family to a vacation, which is kind of ridiculous by the way, but whatever, to save Goku and Vegeta. So now 3 minutes are left in the tournament, and the next episode will be the episode where Vegeta will fall. We can expect a great fight from Vegeta next week. Even if he gets eliminated, he will go down with pride to the end. end. So overall, the episode was definitely a great episode to watch. Not the greatest, especially in the first part of the episode where the fight kind of drags a little, but the second half was definitely worth your time. In an animation standpoint, it was average. I didn't catch any scene where it was mind-blowing, but it wasn't a badly produced episode. With that being said guys, if you want more Dragon Ball content, make sure to subscribe and enable notifications. It's been Nightmare King, thanks for watching, see you on the next one.